Hi everyone, here's our lesson for the 1.13 1.12. That is going to be the lesson for Wednesday, September 23rd. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to make sure that everything was right. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We are going to be reading Picture Day Perfection. Picture Day Perfection will be split into 2 days. We're going to read it for 2 days, okay? We're starting to read it today, and then we're going to finish it off tomorrow and do an activity afterwards. Before we start reading the story, I want us to go over characters. Yesterday we read the story Violet the Pilot, and we went over external traits and internal traits. Today we're also going to be focusing on the character. Again, the external traits is what the character looks like and what the character does. The internal traits are how the character's personality is and how they are in the inside, their thoughts, their words, their feelings on the inside. Those are the internal traits, okay? All right, moving on. Before we start reading, let's go over our vocabulary words. Make sure you take out your vocabulary word notebook. If you need a chance to go get it, you can pause the video now. Okay, now that we're back, our vocabulary words are for this week, for today, the first word is planned. Planned. Here they have a calendar and the little girl's pointing to a day and her mom is encouraging her. And it looks like they've planned something on that day, right? So planned, if you planned, you decide ahead of time how you would do something. So to plan is to decide ahead of time how you're going to do something. So write the word planned and go ahead and write the definition next to it. If you planned, you decided ahead of time how you would do something. Okay. We carefully planned for a big event. That's what her and her mom are doing. Okay, the next word is perfect. Perfect. He is taking a picture and it looks like it is the most perfect picture ever. Look how beautiful that scene is. Oh my goodness, it's breathtaking. It's perfect. Perfect is an adjective. It's something that describes a noun. So perfect is when something is perfect, it is the best that it can be. When something is the best that it can be, then that is perfect. It can't get any better. It is perfect. So the photographer said it was a perfect day to take pictures outside. It was. Look how beautiful that is. Perfect. All right. Moving on. Make sure you have that written down, okay? The next word is hamper. 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 In the picture, there's a picture of someone putting laundry, right? That looks like laundry, dirty clothes, in the hamper. They're putting their laundry inside of this basket. So a hamper is a noun. It's something. So a hamper is a basket used to hold dirty clothes. A hamper is a basket to use to hold dirty clothes. That's called a hamper. It says, I put my dirty sweatshirt in the clothes hamper. That's what the little girl's doing. She's putting her dirty sweater in the hamper. Right? Okay, make sure you write the word hamper and the definition. If you need some more time, pause the video now. All right, moving on. The next word we have is disaster. Oh my goodness. What a disaster. Look what the doggy has done. He's ripped that couch apart. Oh my goodness. And that man looks like, oh no. And look at the dog. He looks so sad that he created this disaster. A disaster is an event that goes horribly wrong. So if something goes really, really wrong, then that's a disaster. It's a noun. A disaster. So my dad was not happy about the disaster my dog made in our living room. He was not happy about the disaster the dog made. So a disaster is an event that goes horribly wrong. If you need to pause the video, you can pause it now. All right, moving on. The next word is scowl. Scowl. Let's look at the little girl. Does she look happy? No, she looks upset, right? A scowl is an angry frown. So she is frowning angrily, the girl. So when Anna is upset, she makes a scowl. She's making a scowl. She's frowning. Okay. If you need a minute to write that word, you can go ahead and pause the video now. All right, the next word, we're almost done. We have 3 more, okay? The next word is mood. Mood. Look at the mood of these smiley faces. We have a happy mood. We have a all right mood. We have a sad mood. And we have an angry mood. You can kind of tell by their eyebrows. Look here. That eyebrows are out towards the side. That's okay. Here, the eyebrows are arched and they're closer together. Here, the eyebrows are sharp and they're closer together. So happy, okay, sad, mad. That's their mood. Mood is the way you are feeling. The way you are feeling is the mood. So what mood are you in today? What feeling are you feeling today? Mood. Sometimes we're in a good mood, sometimes we're in a bad mood, sometimes an angry mood. Mood. Should write that down. All right, ooh, the next word is queasy. It makes me queasy to see this picture. Ugh, queasy. It makes me queasy if I eat junk food before I go to sleep. Queasy. What is queasy? If you are queasy, your stomach hurts and you feel sick. So to feel sick, to feel like you have to throw up, that's to feel queasy. Queasy. Adjective. It describes a noun. It describes a person. It describes how you feel, right? If you are queasy, your stomach hurts and you feel sick. Go ahead and write that down. All right, the next word is fiddled. Fiddled. The girl here looks like she is playing with her hair, right? She has her hair in her hand. She has her hair in her hand and she's playing with it. Fiddled. If you fiddled with something, you keep touching it or playing with it. So if the girl is fiddling with her hair, she is continuing to touch it and to play with her hair. The girl fiddled with her hair. Fiddled. Okay, there we go. And that is it. We're going to do this word next week. I know that was a lot of words. It's okay. You'll be all right. We are not going to have any new words tomorrow, so you don't have to write any vocabulary words tomorrow, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and start to prepare to read this story called Perfect Day Perfection. The genre of the book is it's a realistic fiction. That means it's a fictional story. It's a not real story, but it could be realistic. It's events that really could happen. So realistic fiction or stories are made up, but they could happen in real life. As you read Picture Day Perfection, let's look for the beginning, middle, and end of the story. We're going to look for characters who act and talk like real people. We're going to look for problems that real people might have. And we're going to look for ways, pictures, and words help readers understand the story. All right, so as you read, so the main idea here is we are going to create mental images, or we're going to make pictures in our head to help you understand details in the story. So we have to draw pictures in our head to help us understand the story. Okay, so let's talk about the author. Her name is Deborah Deason. So it says meet Deborah Deason. Let's listen to the audio to find out about the author of Picture Day Perfection.
Deborah Deason has always loved books. In fact, before she was an author, she used to work as a bookseller and a librarian. Now she lives in Michigan and writes silly stories that make children laugh and think. When she is not writing, she likes to read, go for walks, and do crossword puzzles.
All right, very good. Picture Day Perfection. Let's look at the picture real quickly. What is the boy doing in the picture? Do you think maybe today it was picture day in the school? Look, he has his tongue out. His hair looks kind of silly. He has a silly face going on. Maybe he was trying to do a perfect picture. I don't know. Let's see. Let's use prior knowledge to predict what the story will be about. Picture day is a day that in school where you get the chance to take a picture, right? So maybe he was trying to look perfect on picture day. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's go ahead and start reading.
I'd planned for months. This was going to be the year of the perfect school picture. But some days, not everything goes according to plan. The day started with...
But some days, not everything goes according to plan. Uh-oh. Let's talk for a second. Who is telling the story here? Who is talking? I'd planned for months. Who's planned for months? The main character is telling the story. Do we know what his name is yet? Not yet, but we know that the main character is telling the story. And I know that the main character is telling the story because it said I'd planned for months. Who's planned? The person telling the story. So he's talking about himself. Why do you think the author chose this person to tell the story? Maybe to share the character's thoughts and feelings about what's happening, right? All right. What does the main character want to do? He wants to take the perfect school picture, so he's planned it out, right? And we know that because looking here, he has on his calendar, he has, okay, good day. He has different moods on his calendar, and he has the mood here like, oh no, please remember, this is exciting, like an exciting, maybe that looks like an exciting face. But it does look like it's a day that he's trying to remember because he wrote more lines and drew the picture a little darker. All right, let's keep going.
The worst case of bedhead ever. Exhibit A, front view. Exhibit B, side view. Exhibit C, back view. Exhibit D, the look on my brother's face when he saw my hair.
What is bedhead? When somebody says, you have bedhead. Bedhead is what your hair looks like when you first wake up, right? Before you brush your hair in the morning. How your hair looks, that's called bedhead. How do you think the boy feels about having bedhead? Do you think he feels good about it? No, he doesn't want to have bedhead. He is trying. Look at his face in the pictures. Look, he doesn't look happy about having bedhead. So already his day isn't going as planned because he wanted to look nice for picture day and his hair is not cooperating with him, right? All right.
Then it took me quite some time to unearth my favorite shirt. I finally found it at the very bottom of the hamper. You might call it stained. You might call it wrinkled. You might even call it smelly. You wouldn't be wrong.
Ew. So he got the shirt from the bottom of the hamper. Remember we said that a hamper was the basket that holds dirty clothes. So was that a clean shirt or a dirty shirt? It was a dirty shirt. Ew. All right, let's talk about where it says, then it took me quite some time to unearth my favorite shirt. Unearth his favorite shirt. What does that mean? This means he had to dig it through his hamper to find it. I can create the image in my head of him in the morning looking in the hamper and tossing out all the clothes that were on the top to get to the bottom of the hamper to find the shirt. I can see all the dirty clothes piling up on the floor around him. I can see the disaster he's created in his bedroom. I can see the boy with his head particularly inside the hamper, right? Like halfway inside of the hamper, tossing out more clothes as he's looking for this shirt that he wants to wear. So this is the mental image I can draw in my head. All right, let's keep going.
Breakfast was picture day pancakes, a family tradition. This year's festivities involved a small syrup disaster.
No. What is the syrup disaster? What's happening here? The syrup fell all over, spilled all over the table, and it's all too much on his pancakes. And now it's dripping off of the table. And syrup is, we can activate our prior knowledge by knowing that syrup is messy. It's sticky, right? Oh no.
More accurately described as a large syrup disaster. and it occurred exactly as the bus pulled up. I had a feeling we'd be getting a new family tradition.
Oh no. The bus was pulling up and it was a lot bigger than just dripping off the table. The syrup was all over his face and his hair and his clothes, and syrup is sticky. Does it look like he has time to go clean up? That bus is here. He's going to miss his bus. What do you think the boy's shirt looks like now? Let's create a mental image of how the shirt looks. It's probably sticky and stained, and it feels soggy from the inside because it's all stuck onto his skin, right? It is probably not a really nice shirt at the moment, right? It probably looks dirtier than it did when he first wore it. And it was already dirty when he wore it because he pulled it out of the hamper. Okay, let's keep going.
On the bus, I got into a small bit of trouble. Make that a large bit of trouble. The bus driver made me sit in the seat right behind him for the rest of the ride. By the time I got into school, my picture day face was fixed in a scowl.
So, was he happy about being in school? He was upset. He got into trouble on the bus, and the bus driver made him sit behind him. He wasn't really happy. Plus, all the things that happened in the morning, his day was not going as he wanted it to. So, let's look at the boy. Let's look at the external traits of the boy. That means the way he looks. So, he's kind of short. He has brown hair. Let's see. His internal traits is he's kind of unlucky. I mean, it's really unlucky. I mean, he couldn't control the syrup all over his face. That was very unlucky of him, right? And he was misbehaving on the bus, and that's why he had to sit behind the bus driver. And I know that because, and I know he doesn't feel good about that because he looks sad, right? Bad things have happened to the boy that has caused a lot of problem, right? A lot of problems. And those problems caused him to get in more trouble on the bus. All right, they show what his hair, and his hair still looks really dirty. Look, there's still syrup on it here. And he looks really upset, like he's just had a really rough morning.
In class, Mrs. Smith collected our photo order forms. Do you think my mom checked emerald green for my photo background? Or peacock blue? Or pizzazzy purple? No. Once again, of all the backgrounds in the world, Mom checked snoring boring traditional gray. No one gets traditional gray, except for me. And it just so happens to be the only color in the world that makes my favorite shirt disappear. All but the stains and the wrinkles.
Oh no. Now it's even going worse. So remember on picture day, we can activate our prior knowledge to kind of figure out what's going on here. On picture day, doesn't your mom sometimes send with you a form or you guys see the forms that we pass out and then your parents bring it back checking what kind of background they want or what pictures they want. So he turned his in and his mom had chose the gray background. And he wasn't really happy about that because it was he was really just unlucky because it was the same color of his shirt. And that means the pretty gray color is blended in the background and all that shows is the wrinkles and dirt and stains, right? So that is really unlucky that the boy's mother chose that color. She didn't know he was going to wear that. I don't think she did. It was just bad luck. How do you think the boy is feeling right now? He's probably just so upset with all the things that have happened all day long. And then this, oh my goodness. Why do you think he's feeling that way? He says he does not like the traditional gray background because it makes it hard to see his favorite shirt. And look in the picture. Is he smiling? He is upset.
After that, the teacher had us all stand up and practice our picture day smiles. Personally, I thought we needed a little something to get us in the picture day mood. Whoops. Got myself in trouble. Again.
Oh, yeah. Why did he get himself in trouble? Like, everybody's practicing how to smile and stand up straight and look nicely. And what is he doing? A silly face. Oh my goodness. And I bet his teacher called him out and he got in trouble. All right. What does this tell us about the boy? What is the boy like? He is not the type of person that always does exactly what he is told, right? Or what people expect him to do. And he thinks about things differently than others. He's a different kind of person, right? He has a different kind of personality.
Luckily, I got to rejoin the class in time for art. Art involved quite a lot of paint. Or at least it did for me.
Oh no, look at his picture. His picture looks a lot different than everybody else's, right? He's maybe a little more creative, right? There's the boy next to him is all one color, and his is like 3 different colors and has kinds of designs on the roof. And look at the boy next to him. He's like, oh my goodness, he's getting paint everywhere. It's flying around. All right. What do you think will happen after the boy got into trouble for making a face? He probably, oh, that's for this one. He probably had to leave the classroom, right? All right. Let's look here. Now let's talk about how the boy's shirt looks now. How do you think the boy's shirt is going to look after paint? After art class? It's probably going to be filled with paint, right? After this horrible paint mess.
Finally, it was time to line up for our photos. Ned, just in front of me, got the last complimentary plastic comb. I watched as classmate after classmate smiled for the camera. I got queasy listening to everyone say, cheese. I can't stand cheese. The mere thought of it turns me green, deeply green. And just as my face reached its most awful pea-green shade, it was my turn. I stepped forward.
Oh no. All right, it says complimentary comb. What do you think that means? A complimentary plastic comb. Looking here, it looks like complimentary means for free, right? So he got the last free plastic comb. So obviously for sanitation reasons, they can't all use the same comb. Everybody uses a different complimentary comb. They give them free combs. But when it was his turn, there were no more combs left, right? So he had to take a picture with his messy hair. And on top of that, he gets queasy when people say cheese because he hates cheese. And it's making him feel sick. People saying cheese, 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 cheese. And now he feels like he's going to throw up. And his face is green as a pea. It says a pea shade green, right? So that picture is not going to be pretty.
I sat down on the stool. It was hard as a rock and cold as an iceberg. Just a sec, said the photographer as he fiddled with the camera knobs.
Oh no, just a second. What phrases in the story help us imagine what it feels like to sit on the stool? It says the stool was as hard as a rock and as cold as an iceberg, right? So it's letting us know that the chair, was it comfortable or not comfortable? It was not comfortable for the boy to sit on. All right, so it was not comfortable for that boy to sit on that chair. All right, so I'm going to stop the story here. We're going to continue reading the story tomorrow. If you want to get ahead and read the story again by yourself or continue to read it by yourself, you can do so. I've assigned it on the HMH website under my assignments. The story is called Picture Day Perfection. Okay. So that's it for today, and tomorrow we're going to do some close reading questions, answer some questions about the story we read, and then we are going to do a writing activity with it. All right, guys, if you have any questions for me, let me know. Bye.